Hi, my name is Ron Lehman. I'm from the Faux School in Frederick, Maryland, and today I'm going to show you a finish that we simply call elephant hide, or some people refer to as a crushed leather or antique leather. What it is a finish that we use combining paint, glaze, and tissue paper. And when you do it just the right way, and we're going to show you how to do it just the right way, you're going to get this nice soft crushed leather effect, or some people think it looks like not an old elephant's ear, but an elephant's ear. So we're going to get ready and get started, but the things you're going to need today will be a 1/4-inch nap roller, a 4-inch paintbrush. You're going to need a nylon bristle brush because we're going to be using water-based glaze. You're going to need your tissue paper and some terry cloth lint-free rags. Okay, the first thing we did was we base coated the entire surface with our satin finish paint, and this is also tinted to the color that's going to be the base color. The second thing we need to do is take our tissue. This is just regular tissue paper that you get from, not just regular, it's a non-metallic tissue paper, and it's just used to wrap gifts with. Sometimes you can find it in real large sheets, and that's a good thing. The thing we have to be concerned about are all these very hard straight lines, and we don't want those showing up in this particular finish. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold the paper up, and we're gently just going to rip off all 4 of those edges. So we have irregular looking pieces and not factory looking pieces. That's your time consuming part. You're gonna have to sit there and tear all the edges off this paper before you get started. So you do all that first. Basically, you're gonna measure out your room, your wall, length times width, find the square footage of the wall, go buy a bunch of tissue paper, figure out how much you're gonna need, tear all the edges off. After you tear the edges off, we're gonna crinkle it up. This does 2 things. One, it gets rid of all those little factory folds and creases. The second thing it's going to do is give us some added interest. We don't just want to put a piece of flat paper up on the wall. It's not going to look that good. So then after we crinkle it, we need to flatten it out a little bit. So you're going to spend a lot of time prepping for your room. All right. Luckily, I did this ahead of time, so we have a couple pieces ready to go. So what we're going to do now is go to the board. So I've got my surface paint primed, it's dry, it's ready to go. I've got my room prepped off, got my tissue ready. I'm going to take a small nap roller. This is a 1/4-inch nap roller, very low nap, and I'm going to roll a nice even coat. There we go. I'm a little stubborn today. Nice even coat, just big enough to apply one section of tissue to the surface, because we can only work one piece at a time. If you try to paint out the whole wall or get the whole wall thinking I'm going to move really quick, it won't work. This does 2 things, and I know a lot of people do things differently. They might use glue, wallpaper paste, Mod Podge, or whatever, but look, this is tissue paper. Once it's on the wall, it's part of the wall. No matter what you use, you're never going to take it off because this is going to just disintegrate. Okay, we're going to take our first piece. Again, stretch it out a little bit. Just kind of blow it in and lightly just work it around. Now, the more crinkled, the more busy, the more creases in this paper, the busier it's going to look on the wall. So keep that in mind. We don't want it too crazy. We're going to take the exact same roller with the exact same color. And let's roll that down, making sure all the tissue comes into contact with the wall surface. So what we simply have done, the paint will act as our adhesive and our base color to glaze over. Less material, less time. Okay, there's our first piece. Now I know it's a sample board. We're gonna have more than one piece. I'll show you how to seam them. Take our second piece. So our seam, here's our first piece right here. End is right here. You want to overlap it no more than you want to overlap it no more than 1/4 of an inch. And now the biggest thing is making sure that your texture matches the texture of the new piece that you're putting on, matches the texture of the old piece you're putting on. Okay, once you're ready, go back, get your roller, roll it in. Take your time, do it the right way, and you're not going to be able to see that seam. There we go. There's 2 pieces of tissue on the wall, the base coat, the elephant hide. Now we can continue to do the entire room, and we'll come back in a few minutes after this is 100% dry and do our glaze. Okay, so this dried 100%. It's got a nice sheen to it, perfect to glaze over top of. We're about ready to go. What we're gonna do is take our paintbrush, dip it into our Mikado brown glaze, water-based glaze. It was tinted earlier. And we're gonna kind of just scrub it in. Meaning, you don't worry, we could use a roller, but you wanna make sure you get all the color into the folds. So we'll make sure that every little nook and cranny has color in it. And if you roll it, you might not get it all in there, because it could just skip over top of some of them. Okay. The nice thing is you can get a helper to help you that doesn't have a whole lot of experience, because you don't need a whole lot of experience. Just gotta make sure they do it the right way. Then we're gonna take our trusty rag, or terry cloth lint-free towel, and we're gonna come in here and just start gently rubbing it off. You're gonna go through a couple of rags, no big deal. Again, make sure when you're taking the glaze off, don't create very hard or uniform patterns. Work in very natural, organic patterns. All right, there we go. And we take just enough off. We're going to create that nice, soft, faux leather look with a texture in there. Now, the biggest thing people make a mistake is when you put the tissue on and paint over top of it, your first coat or your top coat of paint, they don't get enough on. And if you don't get enough on, you're going to know pretty quickly. Simply because your tissue paper is going to take all the color. It's going to soak in, be real hard getting in there. So that's going to be an issue. So make sure you take your time when you roll that paper down and get nice, a very good coat of, very good coverage. Pay attention here to what I'm doing. All right. And there you go. That would be it. Now after it would all dry, we'd come back and we'd take a razor knife and a straight edge, say into the corner of our ceiling, and we'd trim it nice and straight, take our time. Same when we come down the edge of the walls, nice and straight, take our time. Okay, we're gonna let this dry. We'll come back and take a look at it and remove our tape. Okay, so our finish is dried. You can obviously see I've removed my tape and I've got nice, clean lines. So the trick is very good sharp razor blade. I don't think you need to know how to watch me do that. You guys can figure that out. Just take your time, good sharp razor knife, very good clean straight edge. Don't use a plastic straight edge, use a metal straight edge. The reason I would say not use a plastic straight edge is simply because as you're coming across with your knife, you could gouge the plastic. When you're using the metal, you don't have to worry about it ever leaving the wall. Plastic, you're gonna get maybe wear and tear, and it's gonna get irregular. My name's Ron Lehman. I'm from the Faux School in Frederick, Maryland. Please visit the website at thefauxschool.com. Thanks for watching.